Anne Christine Brusendorff from the ICES Secretariat. I will start by saying that how does ICES look into the scientific impacts and define this? And for ICES it's of course very important that the scientific work that we are carrying out, that responds to the needs of our member countries and that it also responds to the needs of society. And of course also that we can show that what ICES is doing jointly, that is more than what the countries might be able to achieve independently. And for us it's also very important that we are contributing to the emerging science agenda, both by identifying and catalyzing new developments. And we have a science committee that is consisting of our member countries, the 20 national representatives, and they have a very important work to carry out in that regard. We have also another more focused way how we are trying to look into these scientific needs, and this is through the arrangements of dialogue meetings where we are looking into a specific topic and we are then asking member countries, other IGOs, clients, business, stakeholders about their scientific needs. And an example of this is a dialogue meeting that we arranged some time ago in Bergen, and where we were looking into the increased aquaculture production and the evidence base that is needed as a consequence of this. And then, of course, we are also meeting annually with our clients and our stakeholders to get some feedback on the scientific advisory work that we are doing and to hear whether this is fulfilling the needs of our clients, but also to hear whether there are some new scientific priorities that are developing. We have agreed within ICES on a strategic plan for 2014 to 2018, and in that plan we have outlined our topics of priorities, and we have outlined the tasks that due to these priorities needs to be carried out by data, by science and by advice. And in the follow-up and the preparation of the next iteration of this scientific plan, we're trying to strengthen the natural link between data and science, and also how this is then providing input to our scientific advisory process. And this is going to be one way how we are trying to measure the impact of the scientific work that we are carrying out. In addition to that, we are also in the process of identifying how we can better show the benefits of engaging in the ICES science network. And despite our 100 years of existence, we are still working with some ideas around this, so it has been really valuable to get some input and information on the bonus processes on this. But some of the ideas that we are working with is that we are looking into how ICES data and science actually is supporting the development of our advisory products, and also how we are responding to the needs that are identified in the advisory process for further research and science. Another way is that we are looking into how working with ICES data, ICES leadership and the facilitation of science that leads to peer-reviewed articles. And we are, of course, extremely envious when we are looking into Pauline's very comprehensive work, because one of the things that we see when we look into the Web of Science is that we don't actually get any acknowledgements of the participation in the ICES expert working group. So we have some real issues to be able to backtrack from the participation in the ICES work and to the peer-reviewed articles. Of course, there are many things, but one of the last things that I would mention is also that we are looking into how ICES participation in projects, some specifically focused on the applicability of scientific results, how that leads to value added for the projects and for the member countries, including their advisory processes. Now, having listened now to the presentations today and yesterday, we can see that these are some of the same ways that bonus are also operating to ensure that your strategic research agenda is reflecting the stakeholders and the end users' needs, and that your deliverables are also then being considered when looking into the scientific evidence base which is needed by decision makers. And also through cooperation between organizations working in the Baltic, showing how this is then ensuring the use of the science funding. And I think that it is some really impressive studies that you have commissioned, and which is really telling a success story. And during the next phase of the bonus program, which hopefully is going to include both the Baltic and the North Sea, ICES as a marine research IDO covering both sea basins would of course be pleased to consider enhanced cooperation and how to ensure stakeholder and society in both regions would be able to leverage on the vast scope of results in a new and broader geographical context. And I think there is a good fortune in terms of timing, as our ICES science planning process post-2018 is underway. And we have shared philosophies as organizations, which could be stated to make us natural partners, as could our current common science priorities, which we could even think could be kind of even furthered in the next iteration. So I think there's an opportunity from ICES side to join forces and together exchange experiences and best practices and work on defining the important impact of science, and thus also highlight the value for society and member countries of what we deliver. So from ICES side, it's also a big congratulations on your 10th anniversary, and a big congratulations on the studies that you have commissioned that are showing the success and impact of the bonus program.